Okay, we are here for week 2 of Leap to Lead. Super excited. Tonight, we are going to be talking about PRV. We're not talking about how to get PRV because you have a director who should be training on that. You should be training yourself on that, okay? We'll have Paige give you just kind of like a brief overview of different ways to get PRV, and then we're going to hop into it, okay? We've got some bomb people coming to talk to y'all tonight. I'm super excited about it. They are the best of the best when it comes to their topic, okay? So make sure you're ready to take all of the notes and get ready to ask all of the questions so we can get going, okay? All right, Paigey Poo, where are you? Hold on, let me find you. Where you at? I need you on mute.
I'm right here.
There you go. Oh, you're ready. Okay, let's go, Paige.
Okay. So a few quick PRV. You do your follow-ups. Make sure you're doing your follow-ups always, because that got me more PRV than I could imagine. On one month, I didn't even party. It was strictly follow-ups and a fundraiser. So a fundraiser is another way. Run your reports. Make sure you're checking products and what people have ordered, what's going out, what's coming in. Parties. This is a party business. So in-home parties, online parties, text parties, bag parties, scent crates are a big deal. A lot of people have tried scent crates, and make sure you're trying to do events. Get out of your comfort zone and do an event. I've only done the fundraisers out of my comfort zone, but I'm desperate to do an event. If I can find one. And Scentsy Club is a big deal too. So anytime you're running those reports and you're checking in to see what products are going out of stock or being discontinued, make sure you're recommending those bars for Scentsy Club. I believe I got 2 customers this week just because of that. And they will stock up, or they will get it monthly, bi-monthly, or quarterly. What's funny, Anja? But yeah, those are some quick tips on getting PRV. You should be able to find in-depth trainings on your team page and on the Legacy Leaders page once you hit there.
All right. Anybody have any questions about different ways to get PRVs? Not like specific PRV, because that's going to be part of your homework to train yourself on that, but just different things. I know Kim Norris talked about events and how to go about getting more events. Brittany talked this week about partying. Okay, so check the Leap to Lead page for all of those things so that you can know more about PRV, and you'll know more about PRV after or as you do your homework. Okay, all right. So we are going to have Miss Jennifer talk tonight about showing up consistently.
Hello, everyone. Way to show up. First off, way to show up to this meeting. Way to show up in your homework. And I talked on Tuesday was my day, and I talked about consistency. Consistency is key. I know you've heard all of your leaders say that. And the ways that you can show up consistently for your business are: 1, you show up to meetings and train yourself. It's not your sponsor's job to train you. They can start you out, but if you want to grow, you got to train yourself. And these type of groups, showing up to your director's meetings, we all have life. It happens, but your director's showing up, your teammates are showing up. They're sacrificing their time to pour into you. Show up and do the work. Life happens, we get it. I don't want to be like super harsh and be like, show up, but it really does make a difference when you start showing up to your meetings in person and live, because there is a fire that happens in these trainings that isn't always replicated when you catch the replay. If you can't show up, catch the replay. But when you catch the replay, and I know this is a big pet peeve of Katrina's, don't just say #replay. Tell your leader or the person doing the training what you got out of it, so they're not thinking that their training was in vain. Like, it helps us as leaders, and you'll find as you continue to grow and lead that you want to know, you want feedback, because I just started training and I want to know what I'm doing wrong, what I can do. And when you do the replay, let them know, hey, this is what I took from this. Thank you. And I'm just happy. Like when I do a training, I'm like, thank you for watching. Thank you. Because I showed up. I'm glad when people show up. So you've got to show up consistently as a leader if you want to be a leader. You're going to take things from these meetings. Like I said in my training, I've never gone to a meeting and regretted it. Never. I've never walked away from any type of meeting and thought, well, that was a waste of time. It's not going to be a waste of time if you are serious about growing your business, ever. Other main thing I touched on is consistency in social media. You cannot post once a month about Scentsy and expect your business to thrive that way. You have to be posting constantly. The catch-all to that is make it not spammy. And how do you do that? You bring you into your posting. You don't just post flyer after flyer, graphic after graphic. Every Scentsy consultant has access to those. And I promise you, they're floating around all over the place. They will become white noise. Sorry, I'm reading. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm showing up for this meeting tonight just as much for me as I am you guys. I'm expecting to take things from it. I've been attending every one of these, and I will continue because I know I'm going to take things from it. I'm not ever going to stop growing, no matter what my title. Rank is irrelevant. You show up because there's going to be something you learn from somebody, no matter what their rank is. But sorry, I got sidetracked. You got to consistently post on social media, and you have to be authentic. People want you. What makes you different? Why do they choose you? They chose you as their Scentsy consultant, not Susie Q down the street. So they need to see you on social media. How Scentsy, one, is in your life, how you're using Scentsy. You can't sell something that you're not using, or you're going to be more successful if you share things how you're using because you're passionate about the product. If you're showing how you're using the product, that passion for the product is going to come through the screen on social media. You use social media as a way to open conversations. One thing I said on social media, if you're sharing, that's great. But if you're not following up on the leads, you might as well not do it. Because if somebody likes all your posts and, comments on your VIP page and, does, you do a this or that poll on Instagram and they interact with it, but you don't follow up on it, why even bother doing it? You've got to follow up, not just with your customers, but with your social media leads, because those follow-ups open the door for hosting conversations, which opens the door for PRV, hosting, partying, repeat hostesses, Scentsy Club. You've got to be intentional with your sharing, and you've got to follow up on it. And your PRV will thank you, because if you're not partying, you're not going to see that PRV the way you want it to. And social media, it's a huge tool. And one other thing that I talked on is you are an independent business owner. Everything you post, whether it's Scentsy or not, is going to reflect back on you. So I caution people to be very careful when you post. If people are watching, people are always watching. So that comes back to the, positivity. I'm not saying everything is rainbows and sunshine, but if you get into some sort of major social media bickering fest, I was going to say something else, but bickering fest with people who are your customers are going to see that. I'm just putting that out there. So take it as you will. But stories, if you're not doing them, do them. I started using stories a year ago and went from a certified to a star. Not super fast growth. It's not been super fast growth. But once I started intentionally using my stories, and I like stories because you can see who is watching them. You can see they see you, you see them. Connect the bridge. That's all I've got.
I love that. All of those things. And two, y'all, you have to think your stories as you're going on. Your business isn't just going to stay here, right? It's not just going to stay with your friends and your family. It's going to keep growing, and people don't know you. Like, I'm doing parties now for people I don't know. Teamies are joining that I don't know them. How do they think they know me, right? They think they know me because of my stories, because they see my life. I have people who will comment about me homeschooling my kids, okay? They don't know me. They don't know my boys, but they think they do because of stories. So just be mindful, like she said, about what you're posting, definitely about using your stories. All of those things matter, okay? And then you get to connect with people. Use it to your advantage. Relationship, business, relationship. All right, moving into relationship business, we're going to bring up Miss Shonda so she can talk to us all about relationship business and creating lifelong customers, which is extremely important. So Miss Shonda, where you at, girl? Where's Shonda?
Hey.
There we go.
Hey guys. So super excited, nervous to do this. But relationship business is kind of my jam. That's what I do. I love reaching out and building those lifelong relationships. I do a lot with vendor events, and I get stacks of course I just had them and lost them, but yeah, I have stacks that I get of all kinds of contacts, and I just reach out to those contacts and I start building those relationships. And for me, it's building relationships and building the ability to care about others and have empathy, and not just always reaching out about Scentsy, but you're reaching out and you're asking about their family. You're reaching out and building those relationships. It takes as simple as looking on their Facebook before you reach out to them. We're all on social media. That's just really knowing where they're at. And then what you pour in is what you will get out of every relationship, no matter Scentsy, not Scentsy, no matter what. So that's why I love the motto that if you then I from GoPro with Eric Worre. And if you guys don't know who Eric Worre is, he is a guru for marketing, a direct sales marketing. So definitely look him up on Facebook or on YouTube. He has so much information so the biggest thing is his strategy works off of, if you do this, I will do this. So what I like to do is I reach out and say, if you fill out this contact form for me, I will send you a sample pack. Or if you host a party for me, I will give you a gift, using host rewards. The other thing is just being authentic, and don't always ask about, like I said, don't always ask about Scentsy, engaging in their post. And even I have a customer that has been super down and out, and had a lot of depression, and she has told me that the best thing out of 2021 for her was meeting me and getting Scentsy from me. And so those are the types of relationships that are, and I feel I don't do anything, and I don't do anything more special for her than I do for anybody else. But that's, I think, what does hold, what people do respect about me is my brother buys from me because I treat it, this is my business, and everybody is treated the same. So I'll give my brother a scent circle when he buys a warmer from me. Hey, go you for buying a warmer from me, but I'm not giving you any more of a deal on that warmer than anybody else gets on that warmer. So that's if you're in this for a business and you're building a business, you need to treat this as a business, and that's I believe that 100%. So then I lost track of my notes here, sorry. So the other thing that I do is I reach out constantly, and I'm on my Facebook asking people to let them know, to reach out if they have an order that they're putting in. Do they want to turn that order into a, oh my goodness, I'm tripping up over my words here, but turn it into a party link, and we can turn that into a shopping link for them. And so I just did that with the Valentine's Day order, had somebody with a $90 order. And I said, well, let's turn that into a shopping link for you. And she asked me what it was, and I explained it, and that was it. It was as simple as that. So from that, I have now gotten 2 other orders, gotten 2 other people that I can start building those relationships with, and just building outside of my circle. So that's my biggest takeaway from this, is what I hope that you guys take away, is reach outside of your own circle. We all have our family and friends that can purchase from us and help us out in the beginning. It's great, but that circle is only so big, and you're going to outgrow that circle if you want to really put this in your all. So ask them, something that I just put out to my teamies is reach out to your VIP group, your customer base, your family, and reach out to the circle that you have and ask them for 5 people that they can suggest to you that you can reach out to, that you can get outside of your own circle. And that's all I have.
Yes, I love that. Another thing too, like just thinking about the reaching outside your circle, such a good idea and such a good point. When you're first starting, or even when you have your teamie first starting, one thing that I did when I first started is I literally just asked friends. I'm like, hey, can I practice being a Scentsy consultant and try to get you some rewards? Can I practice these things? And people are way more lenient. They're like, yeah, I mean, go ahead if you really want to. Like, I don't care if you practice on me, right? But you're really just trying to see what you want your party to look like, try to get them rewards, but at the same time, you're really expanding that network. So I love that. Customer service, customer service, customer service. Shonda is absolutely right, where she's like, she treats everybody the same, but she's still treating them a certain way, and she's giving them an experience by shopping with her. So that is amazing. All right, Miss Whitney, you are up next with the compensation plan.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so first thing I'm going to ask y'all is, who is familiar with our compensation plan? And when I say familiar, like you've seen it before, you know what this is. And if the answer is no, totally okay. Okay, speaking from experience, please drop in the chat yes or no if you're familiar, or if you even know what our compensation plan is. Okay. Okay, so a lot of people are familiar with it, so I won't have to, y'all shouldn't have too many questions. I'm shocked, I'll be honest with you, because I remember the first time I saw this, I was like, I don't even know what that means. Okay, we have a no, awesome. Way to be honest, because when I saw this, I was very overwhelmed for the first time, and now I have learned it that I feel like I can do a training on it. So that's where we're at. Know that this is how you get paid. Okay, you will notice that this is a laminated sheet on my desk that I still refer to almost daily. Okay, and that's okay. Okay, it is a little bit of a beast, but if you really take it step by step, it's easier to write down. So it's important for you. Why is it important? First of all, like I said, it's how you get paid, but also as you're growing your team, you're going to need to understand how to explain it to your teammates to a certain extent. Okay. But you need to understand it for you and your future teammates. Like I said, I go column by column. So all of our, just stay with me if you can, all of our products have a point value. Okay. They are assigned, what is called product retail volume, which is our PRV. And that is where your comp plan is attached to. Now that's going to be different for different regions. Region 1 is actually really easy because our PRV usually matches up to our currency, our dollar. But say you get a teammate that's not in your region, their PRV is going to be different for them because their currency is different. Okay. So let's talk about activity. At the first of every month, we are all inactive consultants. Okay. So that means everyone starts at 0 on the first of every month. There is no month to month addition or altogether summarize, except for when you are trying to become certified. Okay. So first of every month, we're all inactive, and to become an active consultant, we need to have 200 PRV or more. I'm assuming most of y'all know that, but I really wanted to break it down because it's easier to start at the basics. Okay. So if you're not active for 4 consecutive months as a leader, your downline will roll up to your sponsor. So yes, you can completely lose your team if you are not active for 4 consecutive months. If you're not active for 12 consecutive months as a consultant, regardless of your title, your account will be canceled by Cincy. Okay. So 4 months minimum for leaders to keep their downline, 12 months consecutive, no activity. You will lose your status as a consultant. Okay. So then now that attaches to our commission that's outlined in the compensation plan. Well, I am. I'm able to share my screen. So let me make sure I'm pulling up the right one. Yep, we're a mess over here. Which one do y'all just see this one box? And I'm sorry that it's blurry, but this is just my life today. This is just what we're working with. So you are either, like I said, we're going to do column by column. So you're either an essential consultant or a certified consultant. You may be a lead consultant and you're in here because you're working on being paid at title. But essential is what every single one of us started off as that. No one gets a higher up. Everyone started as an essential consultant. You start with 0. And once you have 1,000 PRV lifetime, that's when your commission goes up to 25. So everyone starts at 20. That's the minimum. And 25% once you sell 1,000 PRV, not dollars, it goes up to 25%. Now, once you're certified, you will never go back down until you are not a consultant. Okay. 25% is what you will make forever and ever. Amen. It is a permanent pay raise, like we like to call it. Okay. So you will see as a certified consultant in this highlighted section, there's nothing in the monthly rewards because you don't have a team. It's just you just get a 25% commission. Now, the only extra bonus that you can get is if you sell more than 2K PRV in a month. That is the monthly sales award. You'll get a certificate in the mail and you'll get a 5% commission increase for that month only that you get 2K in. So that's an automatic $600 paycheck just by having 2K PRV and having your 25% commission off of it. So 600 paycheck sounds good to me. Now, what I was going to say is, say someone signs up today and they sell $1,000 by the end of the month. They will never get paid as an essential consultant. They will always get paid as a certified because they've made their 1,000 in 1 month to have that pay raise. So that's a huge deal to not ever get paid as an essential consultant. And it can be done. A lot of people will say, oh, well, do I only get paid my 25% over my 1K? No, whatever you do in that month is what you get paid. And then you will stay at that title of certified consultant or higher. Okay. So some important, let me see if I can change. Some important terms with this comp plan. I'm getting my eyes checked this weekend, just let y'all know. Nope, wrong one. Was I on lead? Yes, awesome. Okay, so here we're going to talk about the terms down here in monthly or under the monthly responsibilities. You'll see GWV, TWV. Okay, and this is where people start to get tripped up. It is going to be the same amount until you have a frontline director. Okay, so really in actuality, we don't need to go too much into depth with that because that's going to be a couple months, at least a few months away for you right now. But just know that your TWV is your team, which means you're the director of, and GWV is your entire downline, directors included. Okay. So these numbers will be the same until you have a frontline director. TWV is your team wholesale value, which is 75% of your team sales. And GWV is 75% of your group. Your team and your group are the same until you have that frontline director. So we're just going to talk about TWV or GW. It doesn't really matter. They're the same. The other thing to keep in mind is under monthly rewards, it says personal wholesale value. So pretty much anywhere it says wholesale, that's going to be 75% of that. So your personal wholesale volume is 75% of your PRV. Okay, y'all still with me? I can't see the chat if there's any questions, but so TWV, GWV, all the same. Now, there's a few other terms, rank and title. We say paid at title a lot as leaders because once you hit a title, that's your title. So say you hit lead consultant. To be paid at title, you need everything in that top highlighted section, 500 PRV, which is the same for all leaders, which is absolutely insane. But SSDs only need 500 PRV to be paid at title. That's their minimum. Okay. We will never teach you to have just that, by the way. Your TWV, GWV needs to be 1,000. So that means everyone in your downline, including you, have to have sales that equal 1,000 at 75%. So really you need $1,333. Okay. Because 1,000 is 75% of that. So to figure that out, you're going to take all of this is in the workstation for you too. So it's very clear. It's very clear cut on where you are. And then there's a tab that says what you need for the next step. That is where I would suggest that you go. But if you're a math person and you just want to figure it out, there's some people that just want to know what everything means. You're going to take 75% you're going to actually divide your TWV by 0.75 to get your real value for PRV. Okay. But you're going to need 1,000 TWV, and then you're going to need one active frontline consultant, not just frontline, but they have to be active. And like we talked about, that's $200. That's 200 PRV. Sorry. You could have 5 frontline, but if none of them are active, you cannot be paid at title as a lead because you have to have at least one active to be lead consultant. Now, this is where your monthly rewards are going to start coming in as a leader. So you're still going to get your 25% commission regardless if it's under 2K. But then you're going to start getting bonuses. You're going to get bonuses on your own PWV, which is at 75% of your PRV, okay, which may not be a lot, but say, and I should have mathed this earlier, but say your PRV is 2,000 and you don't get, and you are paid at title as a lead, you're going to get 30 extra bucks just for being a leader, just for being paid at title. That's $30 you're either leaving on the table or you're going to put in your paycheck. Okay. And yeah, that might not seem a lot, but once you start adding that up to multiple frontline, that's when things change. Okay. That's just on your sales. Then you're going to get another 2% on your essential and certified consultants TWV. Okay. So you don't get paid on your lead front lines because before director, you don't get paid on the same title as you. So if you're a lead consultant and your new teammate also promotes to lead consultant, you don't get leadership bonuses, okay, from that teammate. Why? Because you'll see here on the chart, if you line them up like that, there's nothing there. So it's a 0, okay? Say you're a lead consultant, that's your title, but your rank that you're paid at that month is certified. You will see you get nothing as far as monthly rewards. Okay. So as you go up in your title, that's going to it's going to make things interesting, and it is going to get more difficult for you. Let's see if this is the right one. Yeah. So I just went to Star Consultant. I'm sorry, it's so blurry, but this is at each column is what you need to focus on what you want next. So as a certified, you're not going to so much be set on, or you're not going to have your eyes set on Star Consultant, but things can change very quickly. If you have 2 frontline, they both get active, you can double promote very easily to Star Consultant in 1 month. Okay. And so that's why I think it's super important to always focus on the next one above you, but you also need to be aware of what's the next step. Now, Star Consultant, same 500 PRV, your GWV of 2,500. That means you and your downline, you and your frontline, y'all's TWV has to be 2,500. There could be multiple people other than y'all 3 that are contributing to that. And that's what you need to keep in mind too. If you're a Star Consultant and you have a lead consultant in your frontline, that's where you're going to have to go person by person in your front line to see what percentage you're going to get off. So always the 25% commission. At Star Consultant, you're going to get 4% off of your PWV, which is 75% of your PRV. You're going to get 4% off your Essential and Certifieds, TWV, and then you're going to get 2% off your leads. Again, if you have a Star that's in your front line, you're not going to get bonuses from their TWV. So there's paid at title and there's paid at rank. Paid at title is what we always want, because that's your max for that month that you can get. Paid at ranks. So say you're a Star Consultant, you don't have 2,500 GWV. Maybe you have 2,000 GWV. That means you're going to get paid at rank as a lead consultant. So you're still going to get your 2% on your PWV and your 2% on your Essential and your certified, but you're not going to get the 4% that you normally would on your PWV and the 4% you usually get on your Essential and Certifieds. Okay. So that was a question actually I got here recently, that even if you're not paid at title, you still get paid at whatever rank you're at. So same thing as a director or a superstar consultant, whatever rank. That's why we have different columns in our workstation. Whatever rank you're at, that's what the rank you get paid at. So you may still get leadership bonuses. You're just leaving money on the table because you're not getting as much as you should with your title. Okay. And yeah, I think that's it. Let me stop the share real quick. I really suggest that you print that off and just look title by title on what you need next, because the flip side of all of that is that as a leader, you're going to need to be watching that for your people. You're going to need to be, as a leader, saying things like, hey, you're only 1,000 TWV away from becoming superstar consultant. And a lot of times the answer is no, I had no idea, which I don't understand, because it is literally everything is in your workstation. Here I am now. What is next? There's 2 different tabs. Click on those. That's all I did until I became a superstar director, and it disappeared back and forth. What else do I need to get to the next step? So use the workstation to your advantage, print this off, keep this with you. I send my new teamies this as well, because I want them to learn it as well. So that's all I got.
Awesome. Love it. Y'all, if you have questions, this is the time to ask. Whitney is the mama bear of all of us. Okay. So this is the time to ask any questions you have about the compensation plan. Now is the time to put it in the chat. Okay. And we can come back to it at the very end. If you need it, that's not a problem, but do not sit here and go all the way up to being a superstar consultant and still be like, I don't know what I'm looking at. What? You were in Leap to Lead. You had people at your disposal to ask all the questions to. Don't be embarrassed, y'all. It takes a while to get it. Okay. But you got to ask the questions. So seriously, unless you're like, no, I have it 100%. I know exactly what I'm looking at. Great. But I feel like I just got there last year. I feel like so just make sure you're asking. Okay. All right. Up next, we have Sarah. This is bomb. Okay. Sarah is wonderful. She's amazing. She is so great when it comes to her PRV. She's constantly on the top leaderboard. Okay, you guys, She has been doing things literally from the moment she stepped foot in Scentsy. So I want you guys to listen to her, take all of the notes, because while we're shooting for a minimum of a 500 PRV, especially since you're in this group, you want to be a leader, minimum leadership numbers are 500. We always say at least 2K to build a big business. Okay. And I know it's a scary number, but Sarah is the person to give you all the tips for all the things. Okay. So go ahead, Miss Sarah, take it away.
All right. So I have notes, so you're going to see me look down, so I'm not being rude and scrolling. Okay. So one key thing is if you're building a team, you have to lead from the front. You can't expect your people to have high PRV and push you to where you need to go. You have to be pushing yourself. And that's super important. Yes, you should be encouraging your people, and they should be growing and building their businesses as well. And you should expect out of them, but you need to expect even bigger things out of yourself than what you expect out of them, honestly. Again, you need to plan ahead and plan for your future. So if you want to be a leader, then start acting like a leader. No one said you have to have the actual title to start posting online in the leader group, or in your actual directors group. You don't have to be a leader to do that. Everyone can learn from everyone. I know that we have all learned from people that don't have the same title as us, because that's all based on you, right? Learn from anything that you can learn, pick it up and learn from it. So that 500 PRV is like absolutely non-negotiable when you're building your business. It should never be a question of, are you active? It should always be, all right, I have 500 already, and let's see where I can get this month after you set your goals. Focus on PRV growing activities. This is the biggest thing that I can say. I'm a very much no excuses person. It's because I work full time for like a really shitty boss, and I have so bad that she made my boss leave on FMLA for a mental health. So like really crappy situation. Super crappy boss. I work from home all the time. I have 4 kids. They're into sports. They're all over the place, right? So I'm an absolutely no excuses type of person. I volunteer for 2 nonprofits, and I do Scentsy. So there's like really no excuses. But what comes to that is I only focus on PRV growing activities. Like, I love my people so much. My people know that I love them. I pour into them. Anyone that buys from me, I send them a message. The second I get the email from Scentsy that I have an order, I send them a message saying thank you. It's super fast. It takes me 2 seconds, and I'm probably on my phone working anyway. So always be appreciative of your people, because that is going to grow your PRV, right? But I don't make cute samples. None of them are cute. My kids cut them when I do make them. They're all over the place. Sometimes somebody gets crumbs. It's okay, because it's got melt and mail anyway, where most people live. Okay, so they're never cute. They're stapled, all kind of jacked up, because I have a 7-year-old and 8-year-old doing it. They're all over the place. But I take pictures and show my people that my kids are the one doing it, and they love it. They absolutely love it. My kids like to do it. The stamps are hopefully in some form of the right corner of the envelope, but they get there. So don't, always be appreciative, always say thank you, always send your thank you notes, but don't focus on, I have to have a mold and I have to do this because it has to look pretty. That's okay. I can't do that. If you can do that, that's amazing. And I absolutely love the fact that you can do that, but don't ever feel like you have to do something just because you see another consultant doing it. So do what works for you, because your people know that it's you that cares and that you're trying your best. The making customized graphics, I'm total transparency. I have never freaking made one. I can't do it. I'm not artistic. I can barely decorate my own house. I just throw Scentsy warmers all over the place and hope for the best. My mom literally comes and decorates my house when she comes to visit. Whitney knows, we used to be neighbors. And so I don't make the graphics. I don't do any of that stuff. I use the resources that I have. If I'm thinking that I need a graphic, somebody's already thought they needed that graphic. They made it. I just borrow it because they say you can use them. So I'm going to use them. So think smarter with those kind of things. Everything is all nice if you want to do all those things, but you need to take care of your PRV first. You have to take care of your PRV first. Another thing is use your face. I use my face all the time when I'm marketing. I have stuff all over my desk that's Scentsy. I'll just take a picture with it and I don't care. I just post it online. Like, get out of that mindset of I have to look perfect to go live, or I have to look perfect. Get on there, go live and be like, my day has been terrible. And this is why I look like garbage, but I got this in the mail and I wanted to show you it. And people are going to like the fact that you don't look perfect all the time, because they don't look perfect all the time either. They might not take a picture and show you that they don't look perfect all the time, but they don't either. And they appreciate that. Your customers and your friends want to see you and your family enjoying Scentsy. So I make sure that I say, if I post something mystery man, I mean, this is what my kid's lacrosse bag smells like. This is what my kid's bedroom smells like. He's a boy, like he needs to smell not like boy. So that's what I throw in there. And I show everything that I do. If I'm going to clean my counter, I'm going to show you I clean my counter, because I might as well, maybe somebody will buy something. I got in the car the other day, and I had a loaner car, and I was like, this thing smells terrible. Sophia and I held up, Sophia's my oldest daughter. We held up a pod and said, thank goodness we have this, makes it smell better, kind of thing. And so just make sure you're always showing how you're enjoying and using the products, not just you, but your family as well, because somebody else is going to say, oh, well, I could use it like that too, or carpool won't smell as bad if I put that in my car, because that's what Sarah said, because she does it in her car when she carpools kids around. So always use your face and show yourself, and your customers will appreciate that. And you'll get customers you didn't even know were watching you. You wouldn't even know they were watching. Okay, so then 500 PRV is an absolute minimum. We don't shoot for minimums. I try to have 500 PRV by the 5th of the month. It gives me total anxiety if I don't have it by the 5th of the month. And that's what I always strive for. Okay, well, 2K PRV, again, total transparency. I've never had lower than 2K PRV until December. That was my first month. I missed it by like $250. Could I have spent $250 on Scentsy on my own? I could have, but I'm not going to do that, because that's not the right thing to do. Okay. And so always make sure that you're pushing yourself and you're setting yourself for these goals. 2K and above, I always try to get there. I looked today, and my next lowest month, I think I was like at like 18 in December, 17 in December. And then my next lowest month was 22. So I've always been able to get that bonus, except for December. And guess what? My check absolutely showed I didn't get that bonus. My check was less than $600 in December. And my check in November, which I had like really good PRV in November, but my check in November was almost $3,000. And I'm just a superstar. Like, it's not crazy. Like, I started last January, and like on the first, pretty much I started, and I just, I work my business when I can. One time I was doing a training, and Whitney was like, well, when do you do all your stuff? And she was coaching me, and we were kind of talking through things. I was like, when I'm standing waiting for my kids to walk out of school, when I'm waiting for Sophia to walk out to the car, like, do it whenever you can do it, fit it in, get the, and you can always post an extra photo of you with something Scentsy. If you're a consultant, you probably have it around you all the time anyway. Take a picture, post it, and you might get 1 or 2 sales out of it. And if you didn't, then someone saw, they're watching, they're going to buy later. They just haven't gotten there yet. Okay, so we always want the 500. We're always shooting for the 2K. But when do you up your goals? How do you know? How do you know my goals aren't high enough? When should I be upping my goals? Look at your progress and evaluate yourself. Self-reflect. Look back at what you've done in the previous months. Look at what you have personally that month. What can you do? Don't kill yourself every month, but you have to set big goals, or you're never going to get higher. So if you're never going to get those big checks, even if you're a star consultant or a lead consultant, you can get huge paychecks based off your own PRV, but you're not going to get there if you're not pushing yourself. So you've got to push yourself. Once you hit your goal, find a bigger goal for that month. Shoot bigger that month. Okay. Don't sell yourself short. Push yourself to do all the bigger things, like I just said. If you are really wanting to get like a good income out of this, I mean, like I said, I have a full-time job, but I like this extra money. It helps pay for my kids to play lacrosse, and my daughter did cheerleading at high school this year, which I don't love. And she realized, but she had to learn on her own. But guess what? Cincy paid for it. Cincy paid for it. And when I say Cincy paid for it, I mean, it was like $1,400 to do cheerleading in high school for the school. And she still paid, it's still paid. So yes, it was crazy expensive. It was a great learning lesson for her. So she learned a whole bunch about people and her own personality. So I think it was worth it, even though we all hated it. So if you don't believe that you can have a big business, you're never going to have a big business. You have to believe in yourself. I would say, like, what is it? I don't know, 2.5 years ago. We had just moved, and I don't know. I feel like I always like reinvent myself when we PCS or something. I don't know. And so I was like, well, I need to do something. I gotta better myself. I'm trying to better myself at work for a different position and all these kind of things. And I was like, I'm just gonna go big or go home. I'm just gonna sign up and get my doctorate. I literally signed up for my doctorate, never told my husband. He was like, what did you do? I was like, oh, you slept in. Like, I already made it. I got in, I wrote the essay, I'm good to go. Like, I start next month. He's like, okay, so do big things. If you don't push yourself to do big things, you're never going to achieve them. They weren't there if you can't push yourself to do that. So do that. Push yourself, and make sure that your goals don't tear you down either, though. I always say, set big goals, push yourself, but don't tear yourself down. Don't beat yourself up. I didn't get my 2K in December, and I didn't get paid at title in December. I've never not been paid at title, but I got promoted in November. I didn't get the PRV I needed in December. I did have one person join me in December, but I didn't have extra recruits. I just had the one, and it didn't work out for me. That's okay. January is a new month. December was crazy, and that's okay. Like, we move past it. Don't beat yourself up for that. Like I said, make your goals for your business and your PRV big and scary. It will push you to grow. Just another reminder of that. And then one other thing that I like to do is I talk about big goals, but I set really small goals all throughout the month. I'm a numbers person. So I really love math, and I set small goals all throughout the month. So if my overall PRV goal is 3K for the month, I want myself to get 3K, not my team, myself to get 3K for the month. I have to have 1,500 by the 15th. If I don't have 1,500 by the 15th, it probably isn't happening. So I have to have 1,500 by the 15th. So I'm going to push and push and push. If I have more than 1,500 by the 15th, that's awesome, because that's just setting me up for success on the back end. Okay. And then I also know that I need 750 by the 7th. So I break it down into small goals. And then that way the big goal doesn't seem so scary, because you have a whole month to get the goal in. So push yourself, set really big goals and scary goals. Don't do all the fluff stuff if you don't have time for it. Your PRV needs to be first. And the fact that your customers know you care about them, that needs to be the top as well. And your people, of course, need to know you care about them as well. Guide them, help them, but make sure they're helping themselves as well, because I can't want it for you. I can't get it for you. You have to get it for yourself. So you have to set those big, scary goals, help them set their big, scary goals, and then keep them accountable while keeping yourself accountable throughout the month.
So Good. I hope y'all took all the notes because I'm like over here like taking notes as she talks, because this is the coolest thing. Okay. The coolest thing about bringing leaders together. I am not a numbers person. I am not Sarah. I am not a numbers person. Okay. I'm not breaking up nothing into small goals. That's just like, I've never even thought to do that, to be 100% honest. I'm just like, this is what I want. Let's try to make it happen. And that's just how I kind of work. So it's cool to hear from other leaders how they're working, because we really do things so differently. But now I'm like, well, dang, I need to start breaking it up and having little goals throughout my month. You can always learn something from someone, always. And that's why we asked you guys to share on your director's pages, because someone can learn from you. Okay. Anybody can learn from you. You're going to see things completely differently because you're a different person. Okay. But setting those goals are so important. You should have a goal every single month. What do you want to do? What is your PRV? What do you want it to look like? How many conversations do you want to be having for sponsoring? How many people do you actually want to sponsor? Okay. How many parties do you want to have? All of these things. Super important for you to set these goals so you know what you're doing in your business and how you're going to keep progressing in your business as you go along. Okay. You can't just, and trust me, I'm a wing it person, but you really can't just wing it and hope for the best all the time. Okay. You've got to have a little bit of direction. I have to even have a little bit of direction to where I'm going, a little bit of a plan. Okay. To get to where I'm going next. All right. So anybody have any questions about any of our PRV stuff, our compensation stuff? Let me stop recording. Hold on.